And in this video I'm just gonna go over the main points in the event. So to start up, Steve Jobs went through some of the this is before the event. I'm rushing because it's 7:20 and I've got to get somewhere, so this is just a quick video. So he came on, well, this is just before the event, a screenshot of the live broadcast. And as you can see, the guitar with the Apple logo in the background there. So Steve Jobs came on, and to begin with, he talked about two new Apple stores, one in Covent Gardens in London, here in the UK, and one in Shanghai in China, and showed off some pictures and all that kind of stuff. And so he was talking about the Apple stores. So then he went into some figures for how many iPhones they've sold and all this kind of stuff. But I think that doesn't need to be talked about, to be honest, because what I've got coming up is absolutely amazing. So he started to talk about the iPod Shuffle and went into figures. And before the iPod Shuffle, he started talking about iOS 4.1, and this is available next week via iTunes for the iPod and iPhone, and it has bug fixes. For the iPhone, you can do HD video over Wi-Fi. For the iPhone, you can record HD video and upload it over Wi-Fi. TV show rentals on the iPod Touch and iPhone. Game Center gets its debut. Game Center is basically integrating into apps, so you get automatic matching for multiplayer gaming, and so basically it's like playing over Bluetooth, but it's with a wider audience, so it's not over Bluetooth, it's over Wi-Fi kind of thing. And high dynamic range photos. Now what this does is when you take a photo on your iPhone 4, it takes a normal picture, and then at the same time it takes a picture underexposed and one that's overexposed at exactly the same time. So you get a normal photo that the iPhone thinks the exposed should be, and then one that is underexposed, so it's a lot darker, and one that's a lot brighter. And a lot of and he showed us some pictures, and the high dynamic range photos looked really, really good. And then the president of Epic Games, Mike Capps, who is the creator of Gears of War, came on and showed off one of his apps. Product Sword, which is coming to the iPhone, and really good 3D graphics. So then he went on to talk about iOS 4.2, and that's all about the iPad. So for the iPad, iOS 4.2, you can get wireless printing, so for your iWork application on your iPad, AirPlay, and if you have an AirPort Express, you'll be familiar with AirTunes, so it means you can stream music to your speakers wirelessly. Well, they're renaming that to AirPlay because you can now stream audio, video and photos over Wi-Fi. And then he showed us a demo. And in the demo, he showed us multitasking on the iPad. Then I mentioned that the iOS 4.2 is basically these new features and all of the 4.1 features that the iPod Touch and iPhone has. It showed us folders and all the other stuff that iOS 4.1 has. Well, not all the stuff, but some of the main features. And this is out November 2010 for iPad, iPod and iPhone. So basically the new things for the iPhone and iPod Touch would be the wireless printing. So then, went into the iPods, and some stats here. They've sold 275 million iPods, and for this new line of iPods, they've got a new design for every iPod, making everything even better. So we started with the iPod Shuffle, and it is tiny. This is the new iPod Shuffle, very, very small. It's a combination of the second and third generation with voiceover and buttons. The button, as you can see here. Because in the second generation, people loved the click wheel. In the third generation, people loved the voiceover but missed the click wheel, so they've integrated both of them. Has 15 hours of battery life, music playing, and the 2GB model is retailing for $49. Then Steve Jobs moved on to the Nano. Make that smaller. Sorry about the small pictures. So, it is tiny. A thing I'm disappointed about is the click wheel is gone, because that's what I thought made them Nano and Nano. Didn't talk anything about the iPod Classic. Obviously you can see a touch screen, and he went into a demo. It's got 24 hours of battery life. I personally think it's a bit too small. With 2 fingers you can rotate the screen, and it's got a clip, so you can clip it onto your top. So without having to take it off, you can just rotate the screen, so you can just look down at it, etc. So here's another picture of the iPod Nano, the new iPod Nano. Multi-touch interface, 40% smaller, 42% lighter, clip, no more armbands for like when you're doing sport. These are some of the different screens and the different colours. So now he went on to the new iPod Touch. He went into some stats, and then it's now even thinner, and it has the new iPhone 4 Retina display, the Apple A4 chip, Game Center, as I mentioned before, a front-facing camera and a back-facing camera, FaceTime. As you can see here, this is the FaceTime logo camera, iPod Touch. 8GB, $229, 32GB, $299, 64GB, $399. I'm not yet sure of the UK pricing, but when it comes up on the site, then I also put it into the description. You can have HD recording on the new iPod Touch, and you can also download the iMovie app, which was previously exclusive to the iPhone 4, sorry, and edit your videos directly on your iPod. All the new iPods are available next week, and they are available to pre-order today. Then Apple went in and showed us the new television ads. So there's the new line of iPods. Next he went into iTunes 10. They changed the logo because they thought, and rightly thought, that the CD in the background of the logo is becoming a dying kind of figure, that not very many CDs are sold, it's more digital download, so they've changed the logo, iTunes 10. More elegant list view, so if you've got more than, in list view, if you've got more than 5 songs per album, then next to it will show the album artwork, so it doesn't really make it any smaller, but just a nicer thing touching it. And added a new thing called Ping, which is a social network for music. You can follow your friends on it, follow different musicians, and you can set privacy settings for anyone can follow you, or people can request to follow you and you have to approve it, so you could have your own kind of circle of friends. You can follow different musicians like Lady Gaga, Jack Johnson, and you can, like events on Facebook, you can say that you're attending a concert, if you go onto someone else's profile, it shows their top 10 tracks that they've been listening to. And it is also available on the iPhone and iPad directly through the iTunes application. And last but not least, iTunes 10 is available today. So you can either download it from the apple.com website or go to Apple Software Update. Last but not least, the new Apple TV. It is absolutely tiny. Let me just enlarge that. What people wanted, he said, is people wanted a smaller one. They wanted cheaper shows, they wanted cheap shows, and they didn't want to have storage management because shows were taking up space, and they didn't want to delete them if they just watched them. So you don't buy movies or anything on the shows on the Apple TV anymore. You just rent them. So you can, on the day that a movie is released on DVD, you can rent it in HD on the day the DVD is released for $4.99, and TV shows the same for 99 cents. That is extremely cheap. It has built-in Wi-Fi, so you'll be able to stream content from your Mac, your PC, your Mac, your PC, your iPhones, your iPods, you name it. The TV shows are commercial free, and on your Apple TV you can stream content from Netflix, free content from Netflix if you're a Netflix subscriber, YouTube, photos from Flickr and MobileMe, so you can stream stuff from Mac and PC, music, videos and photos. And then Steve Jobs just basically went into his outro and invited up the lead singer of Coldplay onto the stage. So that was just the main things at the Apple 2010 keynote, and I'll see you in the next video.